Good afternoon, everyone. It is Sunday afternoon. It is March 1st. February is over with. We are in March. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. About 50 degrees up here today. It's a really nice day. Turkey season is not far away, guys. I'm getting excited about that. But today I am up here on the private land across the road from my house. I just pulled my chips out of my two cameras up here, go home, look at them a little bit. Um, but today I am doing my review on my tethered Mantis tree saddle that I purchased last year and I hunted with for the first time. Last year was my first year saddle hunting, and I actually was up here last Sunday. Did a video on my review on my Predator platform, which I actually love that thing. And at the end of that, I actually did a review on my saddle. I just didn't like how it turned out, so I thought I'd do a little bit better one today. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Like I said, I did purchase the tethered Mantis saddle last year. I received it. Took about 5 weeks, 6 weeks for me to get it in once I ordered it, and I received it about mid-July. Uh, from day one, there was very rarely a day by the time I got it, by the time hunting season comes in, that I wasn't out sitting in it. And usually after work, and a lot of times on the weekends, I would having the opportunity, I'd get in it a couple times. I start out on ground level, which everybody needs to. I suggest, and this is not a video to try to talk anybody into saddle hunting. Just to give you a little update on how I got into it and what made my decision. And like I said, I'm glad I did. I'll go ahead and tell you off the bat, I absolutely love it. I do plan on selling this one here in the next few weeks because Tethrd just released their new saddle called the Phantom Friday. Uh, I paid $200 just for this particular saddle. Their new one is $250, and like I said, they do have some various items, to go with it, which I have a few of them. There's a few more I'm gonna get, but I do plan on selling this. There's a guy at work that was asking me about it. I'm gonna give him first opportunity. If he don't want it, I'll probably put it on some yard sale pages or something. But not because I don't like it, but I like the features of the new one a little bit better. So that's my plan, is to buy it within the next couple months. But like I said, I did get this thing mid-July last year. Sat in it quite a bit. Started on ground level, like I said, which is what they suggest if you've never been in one, and I suggest the same thing. And then I just gradually worked myself up. Like I said, I did get the 3 Hawk helium sticks. Uh, I ordered the platform and got it about a month after I received my saddle, and then I got my sticks later on. So by the time I got my sticks, I was only getting about 2 or 3 feet off the ground with the platform and playing around with it and shooting out of it and stuff. So by the time I got my sticks, then I just started gradually working my way up. I would do one stick at a time. I would go up on it, which put me probably about 3 or 4 feet off the ground, do it, and then once I got comfortable with it, I was comfortable with the saddle by the time I got my sticks. It was just getting comfortable with getting up with the height. And it is a little different than sitting in a tree stand because you're facing the tree instead of away from it. And it feels a little different when you lean back. There's nothing back there. That does take some getting used to and shooting around and stuff. But advantages over saddle versus tree stand, at least in my opinion. Unless this video is just about my opinion. Disadvantages, I really can't think of any right off the bat. Advantages, just a few of the advantages I'm gonna hit on. Bulk and weight by far. Just compared to what I had last year, I had the Hawk Helium. I don't know the Helium. Hawk Warbird climbing tree stand. I think I had it for 2 seasons. And on the box, it advertised it for 22 and a half pounds, but I actually weighed that thing 2 or 3 times with just the stand itself, and it was right at 24 pounds. And I have a big game hunter safety harness that I've had for 3 or 4 years now. I actually still keep it because my son does hunt out of a 2 man stand we have up here on the hill. That safety vest in itself weighs 2 pounds. That was with the carabiner and the strap that goes around the tree to hold you in. It weighed 2 pounds. So you're looking about 26 pounds for my climbing stand and my safety harness that I had. Uh, Pretty basic weight with this saddle, with my ropes and carabiners and everything that I have. You got a lineman's belt and a tree tether to attach you to the tree. My Predator platform and my 3 Hawks helium sticks, I think, come in around 15 pounds. So you're looking about 10, 12 pounds difference there. I think, 11 pounds maybe, something like that. difference. But with that also, that tree stand was just one big bulky piece or two pieces, where my sticks was one, together. The platform was 3 pounds. It's kind of by itself, so it's not all bulked together either. Platform fits in my pack pretty easily. The sticks, sometimes I carry them in, sometimes I put them on my pack. I think that all 3 sticks come in just under 10 pounds. The saddle itself only weighs like a pound, and I got 2 dump pouches and my belts and everything still comes in under 2 or 3 pounds right then. So bulk and weight is definitely an advantage. Um, when you're up in the tree, being able to maneuver around the tree, keep the tree in between you and the animal coming in is a big advantage. Being able to shoot 360 around the tree, which is pretty much impossible on most stands. Uh, Trees, man, you can hunt in so many more trees. Now, granted, a small portable stand is a little more adaptable to hunting out of some trees than a climbing stand, because a climbing stand, you got to pretty much find a pretty straight tree with little to no limbs, and if you got some small limbs, you just cut them on the way up. With a portable stand, you can just work your lineman's belt around the tree limbs going up, and it gives you a little bit more. But leaning tree, the only 2 trees really that I can think of that you probably cannot hunt out of a saddle would be, of course, a dead tree, or one that's just so big that you can't get your ropes around. My lineman's belt, I think, is 6 foot, 6 or 8 foot, and the tree tether rope, I think, is 8 foot. So, if you get in a tree that you can't get those ropes around, or get your of course, I put ropes on my hawk helium sticks. I think I put 7 foot ropes on those. So, if you get into a tree that obviously your sticks or your ropes can't get around, I've got one on top of the hill that my sticks won't go around, but I do have screw-in steps up here because it is private land. So I do have 2 preset trees up here, which is another thing. If you got a preset tree, you don't have to worry about bringing your sticks in. You just carry your platform and your saddle, so that's even saves you more weight. Another thing, and I had this happen to me a lot last year. Deer was coming in behind me, and if I was leaning or sitting down at the time, I would just grab a hold of the tree tether and pull myself up and snug right in next to the tree. And I had deer within, not yards, but actually 10, 15 feet of me. Would stop and just kind of glance up at me and keep on going. When you're in a tree stand, you just got this big, bulky chair-looking thing sticking off the side of the tree. So it enables you to get a lot closer to a tree. And like I said, there's just a number of advantages using a tree saddle over a tree stand. That's just some of the ones that's off the top of my head right now. Well, another one real quick, I guess. I had 3 tree stands. I had 2 portables and a climber. With a saddle, you just need one. You take it in with you when you go. You come back out. You can hunt public land. You don't have to worry about leaving anything in. Like I said, it packs up very easy. You can wear this thing in, wear it back out, because it is your tree stand and your safety harness all in one. So with that being said, I'm going to turn the phone around here real quick and just give you a little review on my setup, what I did. Like I said, I do plan on ordering the Phantom, and I've got 2 dump pouches that I ordered off Amazon on this thing, but Tethrd makes pouches, which I'm actually going to sell these with this saddle, and order the Tethrd ones with the other one. Not that these don't work. I just, I like to I'm going to order the other ones. I think they're just a little bit bigger. I do have one of the Tethrd ropes already. My lineman's belt I've been using this year is a Hunter Safety System tree strap. It's usually what I've used over the last 3 or 4 years with my safety harness. Is a tree strap. I actually just converted that to my lineman's belt on my saddle. So I'm going to turn around here real quick and just show you mine. Like I said, there's been a million videos on these things, and I've really enjoyed it. Personally, I do not see myself going back to a tree stand. I'll be honest with you. I sold one of my portables, and I sold my hawk climbing stand last year, both right before the season started. I did keep one portable stand just in case something worked out that I might not like this, but I absolutely loved it. There was only 2 hunts that I had last year, and it was both during gun season. It was both in pretty foul weather. I hunted out my ground blind. Both hunts probably wouldn't even combined probably 3.5 hours because the weather was just miserable. Other than that, I hunted out of this thing every time. And something I wish I would have done was log my hours, my time, my days, and my hours that I hunted out of this thing. I do want to say one more thing before I turn the phone around real quick. Probably about 15 years ago when I worked in construction, I don't work in construction now, but I had fell and broke 2 vertebrae in my lower back. And since that time until last year, you know, I have never been able to have sit in a tree stand without for a very long periods of time, regardless of the tree stand it was in, whether it be a portable, a climber, regardless what kind of setup, you know, it had, what kind of tree it was in. My back just never could get comfortable. I was constantly, I could only sit for about 30, 40 minutes at a time, and I would have to get up and move and stretch my legs and stuff. Even in that nice Hawk climber. And I've had API climbers, I've had Summit climbers, same issue. Just I've always been able to not sit very long on long road trips. I can't sit very long without getting up and moving around. I did not have one issue with my back hurting wearing this saddle. You know, so yeah, it might not be the case for everyone, but I can honestly say I didn't have not one set. And most of my sets was probably, I'm going to say, average 4 hours. The longest set I had in this thing was during gun season one day. It was 5.5 hours, I think, was the longest set I had in it. The least amount I sat in it during hunting time, like I said, when I first got it, I didn't sit in a whole lot of time during the evenings. But and during hunting time, I'd say the least amount I sat in this thing was probably 2.5 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. And that was usually I hunt after work, you know, and after the time changed. Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of time. So, but my average set, I would say, would probably be 4 hours. And I spent a lot of time in this saddle this year, and I absolutely loved it. And like I said, I had no back issues. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to flip this around to show you my setup real quick. You know, well, one more thing, I keep saying that, but probably the biggest disadvantage of a saddle is there are several companies out now over the last couple of years that have really come out with saddle hunting, and every one of them you buy direct from the company. It's not like tree stands, you know, that you know, you can go into a big store like a Bella's or Bass Pro or, you know, Sportsman Guide or one of these other warehouses or mom and pop shops that sell saddles where you can actually look at them, touch them, feel them. This one here, when I got it in the mail and opened it up, it was the first time I ever laid my eyes or my hands on a saddle. But you know, the resale on them was last year, and probably the same thing this year, was pretty high because there's so many people interested in them. You know, there was no, I didn't have any doubt that I could, you know, if I didn't like it, I could have turned around and got my money back out of it. But that is probably the biggest downfall. But if you are interested in it, you know, Facebook has a page called Saddle Hunter Nation, I believe it is. You can get on there, and there's just people all over the country that are willing to go around and show other people. Tethrd is actually going around to some major cities this spring and summer doing some training programs, enlightening people on them. I don't think there's anything coming close to here in West Virginia. You know, if anybody's interested in, you know, around where I live, you know, I think there's probably 1 or 2 people in watch me fairly close to me that might know, you know, be interested in trying. But like I said, I do plan on selling this here in the next few weeks. But you can also go on saddlehunter.com. It's you can Google it, put it in your search bar, it'll come up, and it's free to join that site also. And they have an interactive map on there that you can, I've never used it yet, but you can get on there and find your location, and there's people on there, I think, that share their location that, you know, if you live close to them, they're willing to meet you somewhere and let you try out a saddle. So that's probably the biggest disadvantage. You know, it ain't like a tree stand. You know, you can go anywhere and look at one or talk to other people that use them. You know, but over the last couple of years, from what I've been able to tell, saddle hunting is really just blowed up. So I'm 14 minutes into this video just jibber jabbering. So anyway, like I said, that is my review. Bottom line is I absolutely love it. I can't wait to get the new one. They've got a few new features on it. But even if they hadn't come out with that one this year, I would be tickled to death just to continue to use this one. I have no issues with this one whatsoever. And like I said, I'm going to turn around real quick and just show you my setup. And definitely I'll do another video when I get my new one in. All right, guys, here is my saddle. Like I said, it is a Tethrd Mantis. Just real quick, here's the leg straps that come underneath it. You know, they come around Yep. Here's the 2 dump pouches that I was talking about that I got off of Amazon. I'll pay $15, I think, for both of these. They do have zip ties, and like I said, I have no issues with them, but I'm gonna sell them with the saddle. These right here are S-beaners. This is where I clip my spare, my spare Hawk helium stick on one side, and I clip my platform on the other side when I go to climb up the tree, because my first 2 sticks will be on the tree when I go up. And when I get up there, I put my other stick on, then I reach around here and get my platform off this side and hook it up. There's the waist belt on it. There's the bridge, the bridge that comes with it, and it's attached. Here is what I've been using as my lineman's belt. And like I said, for the last 2 or 3 years, I use this as my tree strap on my big game tree stand harness. And I do have it girth hitched right here on this loop right here, just to save me a carabiner. Is the only thing that's for. And right here is Tethrd's tree stand Tethrd rope. That's what tethers you into the bridge, and this carabiner clips onto your bridge right here. That's what goes around the tree. That is a climbing rated rope, and that thing is rated for 6,000 pounds. I'm not exactly sure what this one's rated for, but they sell it, for that purpose. And a lot of people, last year I used that thing for the first month of season, because I didn't get that one in until probably toward the end of October last year, when I ordered that one. But their lineman's belt is made out of the exact same. The only thing different, it's green. It's only different. It's an 8-foot rope, and it's also rated for 6,000 pounds, which I'm going to sell this one. I'm gonna let this one go with the saddle. I'm keeping this one, and I'm gonna get me a new lineman's belt from the other one. And like I said, I'll probably get the 2 Tethrd pouches, and I'm gonna keep my S-beaners. But the other saddle, it's a little bit different shaped. It's same material, I think, but it's different color. It's brown. It still has the same type of material for the bridge. The waist belt's pretty much the same. And these things come in small, medium, large, and extra large. I got a large, and I'm telling you, that waistband right there has plenty of adjustability. I've got about a 35-inch waist, and this thing has plenty of adjustability. These leg straps, even with coveralls on and a lot of heavy clothing, I still had a lot of adjustability of this thing. So, but their new ones come out with one size fits all. I think their waist belt is rated, I think they said anywhere from like a 28 to 44-inch waist is what it would fit. But the saddle itself, I think, is a one size fits all. So anyway, guys, let's just real quick view on my saddle. And like I said, I did hunt at it last year for the first time, and I never laid my hands on one or my eyes on one until I actually opened up a package of mine. Absolutely no regrets on getting one. There's a lot of other saddle companies popping up right now. And I think it's just kind of like picking between a Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, just whatever you kind of like. But I do like some of the new features that they're coming up with. So if you're interested in that, looking it up, you can look up the Tethrd Phantom, and also on their website they still sell these too. If you might be interested in it, this one's about $50 cheaper than what the Phantom is. But anyway, guys, if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave me a line. Like I said, I've really enjoyed this year, and I can't wait to get back in it again.